On this adventure, we are driving from our home in Pahrump to Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah, hoping for a white Christmas. We are definitely encouraged by the weather forecast and seeing the snow in Red Canyon, which is just 9 miles from Bryce. Red Canyon has been called the most photographed place in Utah. It is easy to see why, with its brilliant red sandstone formations and spires contrasted with the green pines and even a blanket of fresh fallen snow. We made it to our hotel. We stayed for 5 nights at Ruby's Inn and ventured out each day into Bryce Canyon to go hiking. In 1916, Ruby Sviret brought his family to the area called Bryce Canyon in southern Utah. When his family made a day trip to the canyon rim, they were very impressed with what they saw. They took full advantage to tell people of the canyon's beauties and soon began to host its visitors. By 1919, they had obtained permission from the state to build a lodge called Tourist Rest on the brink of the canyon. In 1923, when Bryce Canyon became a national monument, Ruby moved his Tourist Rest to his ranch and named it Ruby's Inn. Over the years, the business operation has grown into a modern facility that provides the many tourists to Bryce Canyon area a trip to remember. Enthusiasm and love for Bryce Canyon carried over to Ruby's son, Carl. Today, the business, with its hospitality and friendly service, is carried on by Carl's children and grandchildren who welcome you to Ruby's Inn.
No thanks.
Today is Christmas Eve, and the weather is quite frightful. But along the road into Bryce Point, it was quite delightful. At Bryce Point, there were strong winds, cold, and blizzard conditions with no visibility down into the canyon. Fortunately for us, in the afternoon, the weather cleared up and we were able to go hike down into the canyon on the Queen's Garden Loop and Navajo Loop. We went down at Sunrise Point and came up at Sunset Point, a distance of 3 to 4 miles total. Nowhere else in the world can you find rock pinnacles with fantastic shapes like the ones found in Bryce Canyon National Park. Bryce Canyon's elevation, erosion, climate, and rock type are all elements that, when combined, form fantastical shapes called hoodoos. You may ask, what are hoodoos? The word hoodoo means to bewitch, which is what Bryce Canyon's rock formations surely do. The hoodoos we are talking about are tall, skinny shafts of rock that protrude from the bottom of arid basins. Hoodoos are most commonly found in the northern section of Bryce Canyon National Park. The difference between hoodoos and spires is that hoodoos have a variable thickness, often described as having a totem pole-shaped body. A spire, on the other hand, has a smoother profile or uniform thickness that tapers from the ground upward. At Bryce Canyon, hoodoos range in size from that of a human to heights exceeding a 10-story building. The best way to truly experience Bryce Canyon is to go and walk amongst the hoodoos. On Christmas Day, we went back into the park to Inspiration Point with its spectacular views and indescribable beauty. We also stopped at Sunset Point again to hike a ways down into the canyon to see perhaps the most popular hoodoo in Bryce, Thor's Hammer, in better lighting. It is truly a sight to see. It consists of a very tall spire which supports a large rock at the very top. This large rock closely resembles that of a hammerhead, which is where this distinctive hoodoo gets its name. The day after Christmas, we drove a short distance and hiked to Mossy Cave and a frozen waterfall. Unlike most of the hikes in the park, which are 7,000 to 9,000 feet in elevation, this is one of the lowest elevation hikes, perhaps the shortest one too, at less than a mile. It begins with a climb and ends with a descent, unlike all the other hikes, which begin with a descent and then end up with a climb. At first, this canyon was called Water Canyon, and it might look like any ordinary Bryce Canyon kind of canyon. It's not. From 1890 to 1892, Mormon pioneers labored with picks and shovels to carve out an irrigation ditch from the east fork of the Sevier River through the Pagasa Plateau into this canyon. Mossy Cave isn't actually a cave at all. It's a grotto that is constantly wet and dripping, even forming ice in the winter months. The waterfall isn't really a natural waterfall either. It was created by the pioneers when they dug a 10-mile canal to bring water to Bryce Valley. The waterfall is where the stream tumbles 15 feet over a ledge into a circular pool. Above is a swirling channel and quite Deep potholes are there as well, formed by the water eroding into the soft orange-colored limestone. Further erosion is slowed by an underlying layer of much harder dolomite. Both the cave and waterfall are still impressive.
Say hi.
Whoa, it's cold. Hi, I'm getting wet. Ha, ha, ha. Towards the end of our adventure to Bryce Canyon National Park, we found a delightful place to eat. Bryce Canyon Pines is a local and tourist favorite. They have delicious home-cooked meals including soup, pie, cowboy-sized steaks, mashed potatoes, and gravy. The restaurant is world famous for its homemade soup and pies.